So that's amazing. So now we're gonna fast forward a little bit. So now you've literally gone through the low of the lows. Like you almost at a point don't have shit to your name. And I mean, I know that sounds aggressive.
Negative net worth.
Negative net worth. But all of a sudden, like now, you dive into this new environment, right? You're in the staffing world, and you have a few other things you're doing. Like, what is the next steps? Like, you didn't build a business or anything. Like, this is the podcast is the first thing that you're starting up on your own, or did you do other things before that?
No, the podcast is definitely something that I'm starting up on my own.
Okay,
because I've been successful in my career, right? But I also saw myself getting comfortable, right, with the money I was making, the things I was doing, and how I was moving. And me and my wife have lived a successful life, but it's like it's time for me to get back to being uncomfortable again and put myself back in the dungeon. So
now, when you went into the staffing world, obviously in that particular world, in case anybody doesn't know, in 50% of the time, there's a lot of 50% of the time, there's not really a salary with that. There's literally just what you produce. Absolutely. The other 50% of the time, there is a small beginning salary. And then
participation.
The rest of it comes based upon what you produce.
You participated, got it.
Participation award?
That we call that trophy. Participation. That's your salary.
In that particular case.
That's your salary. You participated.
In that particular case, when it comes to a salary, I love participation awards.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're going to take a different approach.
But either way, so you dive into this and you wholeheartedly just said, dude, fuck, I need to figure this out. And you went all in and you hit what, like 12 grand slams, it seems like. Because then you were able to get things done, pay things off, move forward.
Well, yeah. So, through that time that I was working the 3 jobs, that's what we were doing. We were paying down everything, paid off cars, credit cards, student loans, all were taken care of. Our wedding was very modest. We paid about 22 grand, but all cash, didn't finance any of it. And, but
the Dave Ramsey approach.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Man, the thing I say about Dave is because there's a lot of people who's like, well, there's some good debt, and obviously mortgages, they can be used as good debt. But what I say about Dave is that you're never going to get hurt by following Dave Ramsey to the T. Right. There's other financial gurus out here that you can actually get hurt by over leveraging yourself.
And I think that's the part where a great stepping stone to get started.
Yes.
Is Dave Ramsey.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I've obviously veered from him a little bit. Like I use credit cards to my advantage and, things of that nature. I actually care about my credit score. Dave wants you to have a 0 credit score or no credit score. But, so those are things that I definitely differ from with him.
Yeah.
But it was he changed my life, man. I got to give glory to that because he really put me on the right path of what I needed to be focusing on.
Yeah. So, now, I mean, we've kind of, and correct me if I'm wrong. Do you have any questions about the come up, about the story?
No, I believe B Hump became what he admired. And that goes without saying. That I feel like that's where he's at in this chapter in his life. I don't know what age you are, but that's the chapter you're in. And whatever chapter he's in, he's going to be the new Dave Ramsey, but his own version of it. To where he's changing people's lives by accountability, by putting them in a mirror where there's nothing but mirrors around you, and you have to look into them. And self-reflection is real important for this next generation. So I think all you're doing is taking what you learned and dove into and slept and manifest all those things. And now you're giving it back to the next generation. Because this generation that we have coming up has everything that they need in the palm of their hands. It's just, do they have enough patience and time to actually look?
You're still on fire. That was great. You're going to become the new Dave Ramsey of your version. I was like, damn.
No, but I think it's important for people like me, and like I know there's a lot of people out there that have been through similar things that I have, right? Mm-hmm. But on social media, you only put out what the good stuff, right? You could put out a picture of, oh, I'm living life. Meanwhile, your checking account could only have $5 in it. And I think it's just important for me to be as vulnerable as possible and let people know about the lowlights of my life so that someone can empathize with me and say, you know what? I was there. I'm there too. I'm there right now. and it doesn't define what my next 5 years looks like.
Yeah.
I can make an opportunity. I have an opportunity to change what I'm doing right now, and it can lead me to a better life.
So I think you're talking about people that are looking at life in longevity. Some people just live for the moment. Yeah. So you have people that like the game. I look up to him as a pioneer, someone that has a lot of dialogue and intellect inside of him to share with people, but people don't look past what he presents. But he's a smart individual. Being a smart individual is understanding like, these are my bad habits and these are the things that aren't going to change. His goal is to make as much money as possible and go to ground zero as fast as possible. Because tomorrow, if I don't have anything, I got to go make it back. So I look at it like, and he's been successful doing that. Whereas though most people like, I got to have money in the bank. He's like, money's always out there. It's always out there. And it's there for the taking. If you figured it out, you figured it out. Why are you making it seem like you don't? I know how to go into a room and make money. Wherever entity that I'm in, I know how to benefit and be beneficial to the people around me. So why am I pretending like I don't?
Yeah. Well, so that kind of, it's funny because I was going to dive into the next question I really had. It's like, why do you have the ambition? But we really answered that on the way. Like, you know, the helping people factor in your personality and wanting to do that is great. So,
I think it is important though, because in staffing, right, I didn't come out of the gates, you know, just like a stallion.
Yeah,
you know?
I can't tell. He was yelling the shit out of me.
I'm not trying to be that guy, but I did.
I know you did.
I'm fucking around. That was a joke. That was an Eric joke.
But you did.
No, man. But I apologize for cutting you off, but I did want to touch on this, that I was put on a PIP at my first company, and that's why accountability is so big to me, because I actually called my supervisor after that conversation with him in HR, and I'm like, hey man, is this a realistic opportunity for me to showcase that I can do this job, or is this, you know, you guys just going through the protocol to basically get rid of me? And he's like, no, this is a real opportunity. And so, I mean, from there, man, I worked my ass off and I got off my PIP, man. And then it was, you know, the sky's the limit from there. So, you know, even when, you know, I was really got through being out of debt, you know, I still had some struggles in life, but I really just, you know, I have to make the change. You know, I had to look myself in the mirror and say, hey, are you doing all that you need to do to be the best at your ability right now? And so
did you have a specific moment, like the PIP conversation? Like,
the PIP was definitely, that was it.
So what happened that day when you went home and you thought about it?
Well, I was actually at home.
Work from home, baby.
We just went through this little thing called a pandemic.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
No, man. I said to my wife, I said, man, you know, I'm sorry. I haven't been doing what I'm supposed to do. I haven't been taking care of my business. And, you know, it was just that moment where it's like, I promise you that is going to change. And I put in 60, 70 calls a day. I just kept grinding. I tuned out everything, you know, tuned out social media, tuned out it all, and just grinded, man. And, you know, I just knew that if I keep doing the work, that God was going to make a way for me, and that it was going to happen.
And the traction started coming. And we all know, one thing I can tell you from that, even no matter what level you're starting at, even if you're at the bottom, or even if you're in the middle, or even if you're at the top, the moment that the tread starts catching and that little success starts, you're like, fuck. The internal part of you as a human starts getting excited.
Yep.
And you start moving, and you're just like, it's the momentum thing. And I never wanted to mention Joe Rogan on this podcast at all, but
you don't have to now. But
he had a clip. He had a clip that was perfect, and I can't take it from him. That's why I'm mentioning it to him. And then on the other side, dude, I love the Joe Rogan podcast. It's fucking hilarious. But he said something. He said, it's funny because momentum is one of the greatest waves that you will ever experience as a human being. Good momentum and bad momentum. When you're going to the gym every day and everything's great and you're fucking eating right and you're doing this and you're getting in shape and blah, 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 it's hard to break that. because you literally, like, your accountability is high in that moment. When you're sitting on the couch, and they were doing a podcast with Goggins at the time. When you're sitting on the couch and you're drinking fucking milkshakes and you're not doing shit, and you're supposed to be trying to, you have ambitions, but you're not doing shit, and you're just watching television shows about people who make fucking moonshine. And he literally says that's hard to break out of. So I get where you're coming from. And when you hit that moment, like, all of a sudden you're like, that moment where you make that decision and you decide to just say, okay, here's where I'm at, 180 degree, let's go. That part's really hard. Once the tread started catching, then it's like, fuck.
Yeah.
I got this.
Right? I'm capable of it. I wasn't going to let this other company dictate that I wasn't able to do the job.
Yeah.
It was like, no. If I'm going to go out, I'm going out swinging.
Yeah.
And I know I can do this job.
Yeah.
And so that really was just the final piece for it.
That's amazing. So basically from that point, kind of took off, had a ton of success, spent years rebuilding credit, rebuilding life as you know it. So now let's divert into the channel that you're opening, right? So
Yes.
Up to Me, right? What would you say is the number one message? Because we talked about financial literacy, we talked about accountability, we talked about a lot of different things in your journey, which is fucking incredible, by the way. But what would you say is the really big message that you're trying to get across to people, and why you want people to tune in?
Yeah. So the biggest message I would say is that the information is out there, right? I'm going to be providing the information, but like all throughout YouTube, the information is out there on how to be financially literate and things of that nature. And like Keon was talking before about, parents and whatnot, but I think there's, at this point in time, there's no excuses, man. The information is out there. And so the thing that I want people to take away from my channel is it's up to you to learn that information and apply it to your everyday life if you want more out of life. And no matter where you are in your life right now, you can change and lead a better lifestyle. It's going to take sacrifice. There's going to be choices and trade-offs. You have a choice in this life, and the choices that you make now are going to dictate how the next 3 to 5 years look. I mean, I quadrupled my income from the moment that we started this to now. And it's just in a relatively short period of time. And it all was just about the decisions that I made. So when someone watches my channel, I want them to say, hey, are the decisions I'm making today leading the lifestyle that I want to live in the future? And so if the answer is no, I'm giving them the tools to lead that lifestyle. And I'm also going to have other people on the podcast that really have done the work and have put themselves in a top performing position, whether it be in their business, their job, whatever it may be. And I'm going to give everyone the tools to be able to succeed in any area that they want in their life, but it's up to them. It's up to me.
And the funny thing is I really want to emphasize this, and I love the answer you just gave because it, again, got me fired up. But how much does it cost to go on YouTube and watch your channel?
$0.
Oh, shit. Other people charge how much?
No,
other people charge a shitload of money for that.
But the difference is the value that you have. There is no cost that you can put on it. It's
exactly.
the difference is you got on the ground and got up, and you're reaching back to help people get up as well.
Absolutely.
You can't put a price on that because what he's providing, there is no price on it. You're giving some people time that wouldn't otherwise have it, guidance that wouldn't otherwise have it. I can help out one person, and that one person can eat, or I can help out as many people that wants to come to the table and learn. So what your show is giving is allowing people to come to the table. Yeah. And you can eat as much as you want to because you can take something from each and every episode to carry on throughout life. It's just like going to church on Sunday.
Yeah.
The pastor may not be talking about something that's prevalent in your life, but it's something that you can take from him to carry on throughout the week.
Yeah, no, I love that idea. Yeah, that's phenomenal. Now,
I feel like I'm still on, but nevertheless,
yeah,
I got a little confident. I feel like
you're still on fire, bro.
Yeah, still.
You're fucking NBA Jam from 1998 right now. He's on
fire. This is how Brooke started.
Dude, that's fantastic.
This is how he started his career.
I love this shit, bro. This is great. God, Keon, you need to say something at my funeral. But be in the zone like you are right now.
You know, we do have a wedding coming up.
That's correct.
I can't wait to make a speech on it.
Yes, that's going to be phenomenal.
Can't wait.
Remember that time we didn't go to Vegas, but we went somewhere horrible.
Yes.
So, all right. So, real talk though. So now I'm going to switch over and I'm going to ask you something that a lot of people on the other side of YouTube or whoever is listening right now.
Yeah.
We understand that you have a very cool story. And we understand that you overcame adversity. Why in the world would anybody want to listen to you, even if it is free? Like, what certifications do you have? What besides, some people.
I like that.
No, it's true because
space.
some people are going to ask that question. Yeah, it's cool. You got a great story.
Yeah.
Some people get very direct like that. I think majority of us would be a little bit more compassionate and understand, like, okay, if you have the experience where you've gone through the fucking jungle and you came back out, that sounds like an ideal that I can get with.
Yeah.
Some people are literally going to look at you and criticize. And some people, competitors who are charging for the advice that you're trying to give for free, are really, some people are going to talk shit. So what would you say to that?
Well, I can't hide from criticism, that's for sure. But
yeah.
No, man. Why someone would listen to me. So I believe the biggest reason why I can add the value into their life is that I've not just someone talking from this point of, oh, I've never been through it. Like, I've been through all these things. I've let people know where I came from and where I am now. And so, I've done every job that you can think of. I've sold insurance. So I had, my Series 6 for that. And, I've had my real estate license. I've had everything. And so I've really geared towards the things that make me good. And then I also know the areas that I need to improve on, and I'm working every day to improve on those things. So that's why someone would listen to me, because I'm a flawed human being that has a lot of knowledge, but is acknowledging that those flaws that I have and still working on them every single day. And so I think people who will tune into me are individuals that say, you know what, this guy is vulnerable. He knows where he's come from and where he's going. And I mean, that's the biggest thing that I can give to people is, hey, I know where I'm going. I'd like to people be on the ride with me.
Yeah, no, I love the word vulnerability. I think that catches a lot of attention, because when you can connect with people, you need to be vulnerable.
Man, I want to say I have a friend. We call him Rico. Shout out to Rico. Rico always wears these socks that says, don't follow me, I'm lost too. I mean, and it's just to give.
I didn't know Rico had a pair of socks.
Every time we work out, that's what he had. Because people always emulate what they see, but not a lot of people aren't true with just telling you where they are.
Yeah.
Where I am right now is I'm figuring it out. And Be Humble is coming from a standpoint where I figured it out. So my question to you, not to just continue to go on a tangent, but to ask you, since you figured it out, what does the next 10-year marker for you look like? 10 years from now, what are you going to have to make you feel like not only did I go from the bottom to the top, but this is the pinnacle. This means like I figured it out. I'm the Elon Musk of my generation, my family. I made more money than everybody else in my family. I can't say that, but I made more money than the majority of people that have my last name. And I'm not comparing myself to them, because money doesn't mean that you are successful. I think what success really is the amount of people that reach back for you. Like when you have a funeral, who shows up? I believe that's the real success, because it means that you had an impact on their life to where they wanted to stop what they were doing to come and share that last moment with you. I believe that's true success. Anything else is like, it comes and goes. Happiness comes and goes. Reality, perspective, gravity, whatever you want to call it, everything comes and goes. But when it comes to, if I needed that moment with you, you'll fly from wherever you're at to come have that last moment with me. So what you're providing 10 years from now, what's going to be the reason why people come to you?
10 years from now or right now?
10 years from now. Not right now, you got to figure it out. Right now, you're Deion Sanders, with the 21 in Dallas when they was actually winning something.
Well,
but nevertheless,
questions.
Yeah, but I'm saying, my real question to you is,
yes,
10 years from now,
why would someone still
follow you?
Well, so I'm giving people the basic fundamentals that they need to lead just a normal lifestyle and progress in every area of their life. So in 10 years from now, I plan to have, hundreds of thousands of subscribers and people that have listened to me. I plan to public speak at different areas and preach this knowledge, right? And so the biggest thing is, my goal is, 10 houses in 10 years, right? I want to own 10 properties in 10 years. And people are going to come and look to me because I've always been a leader. I was a leader when I played football. I was a leader when I played basketball. I've always been a leader in my field. And that is what I continue to strive to be. And every year I have to reinvent myself. I have to reinvent goals and different desires. So in 10 years, I'm going to be looking at the next thing that I want to get. And so I'm never going to be at a point where I'm complacent. And that's why people are going to still continue to come to me, because I always have new invigorated goals and dreams and aspirations.
All right.
Yo, so what would you say to that? I'm glad you said it that way. It actually brings a really good question. Some people say that continuously, like, it's never enough is the mentality, right? There are some people that really criticize that, because other people will say, what if you died tomorrow? You were never happy with the things that you accomplished. How would you feel about your life? Right? And, like, what would you say to those people? Because I honestly, I've ritualized what you're talking about right now. I've said it before, and I've said it to Ash many times. And honestly, we still get into arguments this day. She doesn't have a similar mindset to mine, which I will be very direct. It causes difficult conversations, because I am a person that can't stop. I can't stop. Like, Mike, you made $2 million in this and that. Da, da, da. I'm not saying I made that. That's not true. But what I'm saying, hypothetical.
It was 3.
That's why we drinking, man. That's why we drinking.
Flex. No. So, but that's what I'm saying is, like, imagine you get to that point and you say that, right? But on the other side of the perspective, it's like, when is enough is enough? When is that? And it causes difficult conversations to where it's like, wow, it's hypothetically didn't really happen, $3 million, but it's like, how in the world are you still up till 11 o'clock doing this, 1 o'clock doing this? Like, when does it stop? And to me, in that mindset, it doesn't. There is no off switch. It doesn't stop. I will never stop until the day I die. But the other side of that, Ash's side, when are you going to enjoy your life?
Damn, Tom. Damn, you can only reinvent this so many times, baby.
Listen, fuck that. If I was Tom, I'd come back, baby. I'd go to Miami. I'd tell Tua to kiss my ass.
Damn, Tom.
Listen. At some point, you gotta let the young bull take over.
No.
I created a young bull for him to take over.
Yeah, and that's 20 years from now. But let's hear that.
Yeah.
Come on.
No. So I think that's a struggle that people like us always have, is like marrying that being grateful for where you are and being able to enjoy it with also still having very big, lofty ambitions.
Yes.
And so I struggle with that myself. So I would say, man, it's something that I need in my life to keep me young and keep me here and keep me coherent and present in the moment. But I do have a grateful list that I write in that every morning. I'm grateful for my kids, right? It's just something every morning that I say, hey, I'm grateful for. But 10 years, man, it's like, hey, I still need to be the best version of myself to be the image that I want my kids to look after too, and be the man that my wife is in love with, you know? So I think it goes hand in hand, man. Like, I don't ever think there's a point where it's just never enough, but I just need to reinvent goals, and it may not always be monetary, right? It may just be, hey, I want to spend this amount of time with my child this year, or, do different things. We may have different aspirations. So yeah, if the situation came, it's like, hey, I made $3 million this year. Well, all right, maybe it's just, I don't drop under 3 million, but I add something else into my life.
Okay. I got you.
It's going to come a point where when you just said 10 years, 10 houses in 10 years, that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Then you're in the shower like, damn, I accomplished my goal.
What's next?
What's next?
That's the problem. It's always
I'm in the shower every day. I don't give a damn what nobody says. What's next?
Hey, great show that memorialized that saying was West Wing, baby. What's next?
What's next?
Great. I know you don't like that show.
I mean, it's all white people.
That proves my oldness.
What is he talking about?
That proves my oldness and my whiteness.
No, it's all white people.
I was like, bro, you lost me.
No, anybody out there seen the West Wing, man? Give me a shout out. Say it in the comments, baby.
It's just you and Jesus. That's it. You, Jesus, and the actors on that show. That's it.
All right, that's fantastic.
Even the practice had at least one black person. Like, come on, just have us in there, baby. We're gonna make a little more color.
Listen, you're disrespectful as shit. I want you to know that. There's moments in time.
I think the show's in black and white. Man. I think the show's in black and white too.
It's not in black and white. It was the early 2000s. You act like it was fucking Gone with the Wind or some shit.
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far.
Some shit my mom used to watch.
Yes. It is. What was that? I'm trying to think. It was like The Stories or something like that. What the old people used to watch growing up.
My mom would still watch things in black and white. I'm like, what the hell are you watching?
We're not there no more. We're not there no more.
It's over.
It's done.
It's not in black and white though. We'll give them that.
I will say that's an ongoing argument. You know that movie Casablanca? Everybody's heard of that movie, right?
Yes.
It was the, I don't know, third movie ever made. I don't know, it was that old. And fucking Ash loves those movies, and I can't stand it. And there was one time, this is going to sound really terrible, but we were having a birthday party for me, and I ended up buying out a theater to take her to go see one of those original White Christmas.
Oh,
you mean like old 1950s movie? It was a black and white, and she's all super excited. And I had a half a bottle of tequila in me, so I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna be a great movie."
Because that's how much dialogue they had back in the day. Nah, baby, you ain't gonna get me with it.
This is terrible.
Yes.
So, oh man. So honestly, dude, that's an amazing story. It truly is. It's. Honestly, I found myself, like, all bullshit aside, I found myself getting a little jacked up as we're sitting here listening to your story. There's even some specifics in there I didn't know, and I honestly, because I never asked, but
the pimp,
yeah, never knew that, man, and it was just like, it was like, wow. When I came onto that scene, honestly, it was like, dude, you were a baller, and it was like, I think it very, very quickly, you were kind of one of the people that I had connected with a little bit, because whenever I connect with people anywhere I go, I usually have a big culture connection. I really like. I'll just be out front with it. I really like hanging out with black people.
Just call it what it is. Just call it what it is.
It's a little bit more of my culture, but
it's all right. You just love black people.
Yeah, it is.
I love black people too. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's what I'm saying. But at the same time, like, it's also new. Like, you were a baller, and if there was a direction that I could go in this particular industry, like, hey, I can watch that footpath and kind of migrate it. You going this way, I'm gonna go this way a little bit, but that's still a footpath that I can step in.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons I reached out real quick. But no, man, that's honestly, I'm like I said, it got me a little juiced up. Like, that's fucking cool. Like, that is an amazing story. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you,
jacked up.
Listen, the first time I met B Hump, he probably don't even remember we had a Zoom call together. Yeah. In the beginning,
you were. Oh shit! No, we can't go too specific.
We can't go. No, I'm just saying we had a Zoom call together, and as we were talking, he was like, he started telling me about him and all that good stuff. Yeah. And all I can remember him saying, "Why not you?" Out of everybody that's here, nobody has more talent than anybody else.
Yeah.
It's just that person woke up and said, "I'm going to go get it today, tomorrow, and each and every day going forward."
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the only reason why you're successful at this job, in this industry, is because you say nobody has more than what I have.
Yeah.
Why not you? So pick up your pill each and every day and go put the work in.
Yeah.
However you get that done is how you get done. Don't take advantage of this opportunity and let it go fall by the wayside. I think I took my foot off the gas and let it fall by the wayside because it was one of those things that came natural.
Yeah.
So when things come natural, you don't really, it's like working out. It becomes natural. So I don't have to really put an effort in order to get the results that I want.
Yeah.
But now I realize if you put in the effort, you're just going to be top tier now. Now you're going to be the 1%. Now you're going to be the people that people go look up and ask, hey, how did you do the XYZ? You're going to be the one that people look for advice because you did the effort. You already got the talent, but putting in the effort is the complete difference between those two people.
And that's really where the channel comes in too. It's like, I just realized to myself, like, anyone that I've ever worked for, the only difference between me and them is they took a shot. They took a shot, man. It's like, you have to take a shot. And so when I look at like mortality, as far as like, there is no tomorrow, that's what I look at, man. I'm comfortable living a life where I gave it a shot. You know, I put myself out there. I expressed the knowledge that I have and fell short per se, right? But I can't get to the end of my life and say, you know what, I never had the courage to take a shot. And so that's one of the biggest things for me.
I'm just like my adrenaline level's getting higher.
I mean, it's okay.
So no, that's great, dude. No, for real, that's amazing shit. That's fucking good shit, dude. So let's anything else that I love it. Honestly, and realistically, there was a few other things that I was coming in here to ask because I really want to challenge the idea of like, why are people going to migrate towards you? And I think just sitting here, we're having a great fucking time. Like, I'm already migrating into his lap. Like, hey, teach me.
Yeah. I'm already on to the next show.
Really, it's got that personality. You got that fucking grind to you, and the way you speak confidently, bro. Like you're killing it. I was gonna be a follower no matter what. And I'm gonna push people in your direction. We're boys.
Well, I appreciate that.
From a professional level,
wait till we get on his show.
I'm like, damn, maybe I need to tune in a little bit, like, because we all fall short from time to time. And I think, especially going into that particular channel, that would be right up my alley. It's like, damn, like that juices me up a little bit. So
I want to say, to cut you off a little bit, just to say, piggyback off that is, I'm signing up for Surge Fit, not because I want to. I should invest in you as well, and I see what you have going on, and I'm rallying behind it. Like, not only are you doing something that people need, but I need it as well. So you're saying I'm going to subscribe as well because you're giving out essentially what we call game.
Yeah.
And everybody needs game in the game of life.
Yeah.
So when the faucet is running, I'm here to drink and just keep it going along those lines. So I think it's important that you continue to do what you're doing. If there's any way that we can help out, by all means, let's do it. I can't wait till we're on your show doing the exact same thing, talking about accountability in our spectrum of it, because you can't be successful without continuing to keep going after it. Keep swinging when everybody stops swinging.
And what do you want to add to it? Like, do you have any final? Where can people find you? Do you have a website? Do you have just the YouTube channel? Or
no, it's just the YouTube channel and Instagram. It's Up to Me podcast. They can find me on YouTube, Instagram. Tune in. I'm going to be dropping some knowledge nuggets. I'm going to be having some innovative interviews, and just, I'm here to add value to your life, and any subscription and like on any of my videos would be greatly appreciated.
See what I'm saying?
That's all it is.
Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Do the good shit. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, right? And then leave a comment, but on both pages now, because you're responsible.
You're responsible.
And you need to be accountable to the podcast that you watch.
Yeah, and that's us.
So make sure that you hit that subscribe button on both. But as we divert, let's get into my absolute favorite segment of the podcast.
Yeah.
Spice of the week. Joe's Spice of the week, right? So in case you haven't watched, you know Joe's Spice of the week?
I do not.
Okay. You do not. Okay. So at the end of every podcast, we always dive into Joe's Spice of the Week, which is sponsored by Joe's Backyard Smokehouse. Fucking love Joe's. If you haven't seen it, go check it out, right? He's got the best service, best food. So what we do is you need to identify with us a specific moment, a specific event, or a specific thought process that came to you that gave you that really good fucking vibe to push you through the remainder of your week. Because we all know we hit that fucking troubled time a little bit. You get to that Wednesday and you're like, fuck, dude, it's been a rough week, or some bullshit happens. But there's always that one thing that kind of comes across where you're like, fuck, it's not that bad. And you're able to just kind of push over that little finish line, right? Pull that little wagon wheel all the way across that little bit. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we dive in on, is finding those little things that really help you kind of tug along in that little thing we call life. You know what I'm saying? So Would you like an example, or would you like to hear Keon go first?
Let's hear Keon.
I mean,
let's do it. What you got for this week's Spice of the Week, Keon?
To me, I'm real simple. Real simple. We just left the gym. B Hump was in there with me. But what propelled my week is when I say something and I do it. Accomplish that goal. Time went up an hour, messed everything up, but things are going to happen that's outside of your control.
Absolutely.
How do you get back into control says a lot more about you than it does about what happened in the course of the day. So before we got on set, I did 15 miles in the cycling class. And for me, I was like, I'm going to do this no matter what. And the instructor, I'm in the front and I'm killing it. But in my head, I'm just going through the motions. If she says pick it up, I'm picking it up. If she says slow down, I'm not taking slowing down because that's the effort that you want me to give. I still got to maximize because this time matters. So I'm going through that class and she's like, I never seen someone give it as hard as you giving it. Like even when I said slow down, you were pushing me. So to be the student and still push the master says a lot about, I want it this week more than anything else. Like I think it propelled me for the next 7 days of the week just because I accomplished the goal that I wanted to accomplish, which is giving my all.
Yeah. That's kind of dope.
amazing.
I like that. That's good shit.
It's really where I was going.
It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. You can say that.
Wait till you get to me and you're going to get a big letdown.
It always happens.
Every fucking week, man. Because I look at minute things. I look at little things. And to me, that's the important stuff. Like the daily function stuff that you don't really appreciate.
Yeah.
But it happens and you're like, wow, imagine if this wasn't here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas everyone else always has some big shit make me look like shit.
I mean, I just came from, you accountability. I knew we're all about accountability. So
Keon,
I gotta
stop. You've been spitting all day. It's B-Hump's time.
Okay, go ahead.
You're done.
Go ahead.
You're done.
I'm Thanos.
No, man. I mean, it's funny that he said that the student teaches the master, right?
Yeah.
So I had a mentor this week that 44-year-old guy, he multimillionaire, right? I was able to teach him something. He had a crappy life insurance policy that I was able to actually teach him, hey man, you shouldn't have this policy. Do you know that this is what happens when you have that policy? He's like, you're wrong. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I would call my guy and ask him that question. And he's like, he ends up hitting me up and he said, holy fuck, you were right. And so it really just gave me the validation that I'm on the right path and doing things, because even someone that's 44, multimillionaire, I'm still teaching him something about his financial literacy. So just something that encouraged me to keep pushing in the right direction.
That's what I'm saying. Old dog still need to learn a new trick.
Yeah. That's a great spice when you get the affirmation that you're on the right fucking path.
Absolutely.
I love that shit. All right.
No, here's a letdown.
Yeah, let's end the show.
I'm ready to do the mic drop right now. Like,
yeah, we're good. We're good.
Yeah, no.
No, I would say that. Fuck, I'm really trying to think something different now. I had something set up.
Why would you go? Don't don't deviate
I
from
this shit
it.
every week. We shoot every week.
Listen. Simple things. Simple is better.
Simple is better.
Simple is better. You ain't got to make it hard.
Hey man, you. So, no, honestly, really, really good vibe that I had was going off of kind of very similar to what we talked about today, the advising your kids, right? And you try to hold them accountable. And I've told everybody a million times, I'm very strict on my kids. My daughter has a real issue when it comes to keeping her room clean. And I'm very hype about that. It's like, no, don't bring food in your room. Don't leave your clothes all over the damn floor, right? Put your shoes away. Like that's a real big issue in the Bruck household when it comes to Avery's room, right? And all week, starting on Tuesday, I go in and I wake them up for school, and I walked in there and Tuesday morning for the first time ever. Room was sparkling. It was amazing. It was clean, and I was like, this is unique. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't want to fuck this up. Come back in Wednesday, room is clean. Everything's in a stationary spot. Everything's kind of organized a little bit. And when I say this also, I don't organize her room. You do your room. This is your room. Do your shit the way you want to do it. I don't care, but don't leave shit all over the floor. Have a generality of cleanliness when it comes to this, because I want to teach you responsibility of whenever you do get to a job, whenever you do create your own business, whenever you do this, you understand how to organize things the way you want them organized. You don't need to organize it the way I want it. Do it your way, but make sure it's done. And Thursday, damn, Friday went in there clean. And I just, from that moment, like from Friday morning, I felt an amazing feeling of just success. Like I've taught my daughter something that she's going to be able to use for a longevity period of time. And I felt so good about it. And I was like, hey, you want to skip school? Yeah, let's skip school, right? And kids skip school on Friday, right? And it all because
big teddy bear. That's what
the best part. Ryder was like, "Fuck yeah, his room is horrible, bro. It was atrocious." I was like, "Listen, your sister got you to the promised land, baby. Yeah. You better wipe her toes clean. You know what I'm saying?"
I told Ryder, you gotta go to school.
So I was like, "Listen, you better thank your sister right now." And you just see him, he's like, "Thanks," and then went outside playing the fucking trampoline. But I don't know, it gave me a very unique feeling of satisfaction, a unique feeling of love, and I was just like, man, something I'm doing is working. It may be little, maybe big, sometimes a little overwhelming, but it's working, and that shit made me feel good. That is my spice.
There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. I told you, simple is better. Just that your daughter's listening.
See what I'm saying? See, it wasn't terrible.
No, your daughter's listening.
I feel really good about that.
Yeah, I mean, you should.
I wish I had veneers right now because I'd be shining bright.
At some point, every parent. I don't want my son to listen to everything I say, but the important things, I really want you to just let that dissect those things and carry it with you. Losing is a part of life. Yeah. But you gotta keep going. Like, I lost today. Tomorrow, I'm gonna win. And just be prepared for when the wins come.
Yeah.
B Hump is, if you guys don't take anything from today, just know B Hump a winner. And he's ready to, he wants nothing but. He wants
to help other people win.
Win. There's a lot of people that lose, that are losing by choice. You don't have to keep doing it.
There you go. So as we close out, once again, thank you so much for coming on, man. And we're excited that we can even have a small part in your journey. Because I know for a fact everything that you're going to do is going to be successful. You're an ambitious guy. You know, we've known you for a couple of years now, and I'm always super impressed by just our conversations, by the way you carry yourself, by the way you proceed in interactions with other people. I love it, and I love being around you, man. And like I said, up to me.
Yes.
Right. And up to me. Go subscribe on YouTube to my boy right here, and make sure on the podcast we have a ton of movement right now, ton of momentum. Let's keep that shit going. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Leave some comments in there if you guys have some opinions about some of the things we said today. Please leave it in the comment box.
Even the haters. especially the haters.
Only Buck's gonna respond to you.
I love that.
Ruck gets jacked.
Yeah.
I love clapping back.
I have zero time for that.
Dumbest shit. It's fantastic.
Zero time.
Yes. So guys, make sure, please help us out. We appreciate all the love, and let's lift Up to Me off the ground and really get it moving.
I appreciate it.
Awesome, man.
Thank you, brother.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Peace out.